Bows and pose? That's what our next guest is all about on Bring It to the Table. I'm Allison Smith, your host, and I'm excited to introduce you to Sarah Forde of AdorkaBows and AdorkaStock.com. And I'm here to bring you along her artistic journey so that we can see what got her to this very moment here now. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you in the studio.
Me too.
So you have been an artist your whole life.
Yep.
So this started as a child. You were starting to draw, is this correct?
Yep. I illustrated pretty much from age 5 on until I didn't.
So you've always been doing this?
I've been making art for my whole life.
So this is a coloring book that you drew?
I drew most of the pictures in there. I have a few guest artists as well.
Would you like to show us a
Sure.
little bit about it? So these are your drawings.
Yep.
And you love to collaborate.
I love working with other artists, so.
So do you just select them because you're kind of like their super artist fan almost?
It's either people I'm friends with or people I admire that I reach out to, or sometimes it's just people that contact me and say that they're interested in doing a collaboration with me.
So it goes both ways.
It does. So far these have all been my art. I think this one is a guest artist.
Oh, amazing.
And so the theme for this book was magical girls.
Ah.
And I let people pick whatever theme they wanted to draw. This was another guest artist. And it was really, really fun. So I did, I think, 19 illustrations for this book.
Amazing.
And these are all, it's very heavy. It's very
It was,
thick.
yes.
Yeah.
It looked like you could really frame it even if you wanted to.
The materials you can use on this paper, you can use watercolor, you can use thick, markers, and it's not going to bleed. It's very thick.
You really have the mind of the artist, with the artist in mind.
Yes.
Yes.
I really wanted people to be able to keep these as long lasting.
That's amazing. Do you take your own photos in order to pose for them, or?
So when I used to illustrate, I don't illustrate anymore, but when I did, I almost always used myself as a pose reference.
So tell me a little bit about that process, if you don't mind sharing that.
I used to shoot in the house with I would just hang a sheet, like a bed sheet.
Yes.
And I just had a point and shoot digital camera. And then over time, as I started to develop it, I was able to put more money in. So through Patreon and pack sales and things like that. Now I have a studio at home with a professional backdrop and lighting and a really nice camera. It's great for me when I have to take references. But when I would do it for myself, I would just snap a photo of myself and then I would put the photo. A lot of times I printed it out because I'm a very analog person.
Yes.
And I like to have the reference and the drawing. And I was drawing with pencil and ink. These are all done in pencil and then inked. So I would have the reference and I would have my paper and I would just draw from the reference onto the page. And I stylize. These are obviously not realistic, proportions and things like that. They've been stylized. I just, I would take the picture and then all the outfits and everything is just made up. And then I just am using the base form of the figure.
So this is a, common process for a lot of artists.
A lot of artists use reference, either from life or...
So, and that's kind of what led to AdorkaStock.
Yep, I was originally doing it for my own reference because I was illustrating, and my friends would say, "Wow, that pose looks great. Did you use a reference?" And I was like, "It's me." And then people really encouraged me. They're like, "These are great. You should put them online." And so I started, putting them up online, and people loved them and would use them a lot. And I said, "Well, this is cool." And I did it for years and years and years just for free. And then I had a baby in 2014.
Yes. Oh, you did.
And I said, "Well, I need money now because I'm home with this baby." And so I was like, there's no way I can keep doing this if I don't make it into a little jobby.
Yes.
Because I don't have the time now to just do it for funsies.
Yes.
And fortunately, it was able to convert.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so now you can go to www.AdorkaStock.com.
That's where it
and
is.
you have both free and paid poses.
Yep.
And the thing that really is shining through all of your art is just how unique everything is.
Thank you.
And AdorkaStock helps other artists really keep that authentic, individual, unique flair to their art by having a reference.
Yeah, I think it's super important if you're an artist to learn from life. Truly in-life pose drawing, like with a model with you, is the best way to like learn and study. But not everybody can afford that. Not everybody can get there. Those resources aren't always available. So having it online is kind of like the next best thing.
It is.
Giving everyone access.
It makes sense that it goes digital.
Yeah.
Especially now that everyone's working from home. So that kind of work together as well, right?
And when, you know, when COVID happened and we were all at home, I saw a great increase in people who were interested in studying art and using the resources and accessing the website. The website has a sketch app that'll randomly rotate poses for you. So it's kind of like being in a drawing class where the model is changing the pose. You can put a timer on. And
that's so neat.
Yeah, it's really fun. And since I have a degree in art, so I went through 4 years of figure drawing class.
Yes.
So I took that experience and tried to digitize it for people so that they could have that sort of in-class feel. I think they're called like classroom mode.
Yes.
And you can do different amounts of time, and you can do quick drawings, and then you can do a long drawing. So
yeah, you were mentioning that you have a degree in sculpture.
Yes.
Which actually even helps with this more. And I would imagine that you could easily miss detail like a muscle or any kind of structural changes that might happen. I saw some of them were like, you know, holding a sword or things like that.
I have an extensive armory. I really like to be able to buy a sword and say, this is a business expense.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
That's the best thing about small business,
It
right?
is very fun. Yeah.
Especially when you are, you know, creating your passion. So I want to get into a little bit of the bows now.
Sure.
And they're just so unique.
Thank you.
I'm instantaneously drawn to all the different little, like, is this a pin?
So that's an official, so I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. That's like my primary fandom. So that is a pin from the Sailor Moon store in Japan, in Tokyo. And I have a friend who lives over there, and I asked him I actually paid him to go buy these for me.
That's cool.
So that I could get a set of them. And then they just arrived last week, and I just finished that bow yesterday. I was like, I am making a hair bow with this pin.
I love it so much. I like need a rainbow moon chalice like immediately. Like this is like imperative.
I just think they're so pretty, and a lot of the centers that I use for my hair bows are from other artists.
Centers.
Yep.
Yes.
And so it's artists that I'm friends with, artists I've met at conventions, and I get their permission, and then I buy directly from them. Most of the time it's just retail price.
Right.
And then when I make the hair bow and I post them, I give credit to those artists. And so I'm sharing their work through my work. And then people go, oh, I love that pin. And then they go shopping, you know. So it's kind of like a fun community. They're kind of collabs, sort of, but also just like, it's just so great. They're so nice to let me use their stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I just love how you get to showcase and even give new life to the art. Because like, you know, I bet that this was, or was this?
So my friend Kitty, she lives in Hungary, I believe. She's overseas.
So this is like global. Is this all on your Discord?
So Kitty has her own shop.
Okay.
She does custom order for metal and gemstone work.
Okay.
And so I hire her. Her studio is Sierra Lunas Jewelry, and I hire her for custom pieces when I'm going to do like a really fancy bow, and I really want to like elevate it. It's rhodium plated.
So this was custom
for
the center.
Yes, I designed
goodness.
that. She worked with me on the design. It's rhodium plated. Those gemstones are like 100% real, like not just plastic. Those are like the.
You can tell.
Yeah.
I thought you like maybe source this.
No, she hand makes those.
Amazing. It has a very antique. I mean, it looks like pristine, but it also has that like, you know, timeless,
authentic
flair.
Yep.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Do you recognize that item at the middle there?
Is that a phone booth?
It is a phone booth.
Oh, good! Yay!
Inspired by Doctor Who.
So
it's
I love
the TARDIS.
that.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing.
Thank you. I mean, Kitty does beautiful work, so all the props in the world to her because she's amazing.
Tell me about some of the other artists you collaborate with. I think, so this is your work.
Yep, that
right
one's
here.
mine. Yep.
So you did the drawing of this. Tell us a little bit about how this goes from your creativity to
the thing.
A pin.
Yeah. So most of the pin designs are just hand drawn. All my drawing is done mostly on paper because I'm not a digital artist. I just haven't got that in me.
So you're still doing this on paper?
Yep, everything's done on paper, and then I send it to...
So you still do a little drawing?
A little tiny bit.
Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little tiny
okay.
bit.
Yes.
But not full illustration. And I send that to...
Just for your bow art, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I send that sketch, basically, to a friend who turns it into a vector, which is vector images are digital images that no matter how big or small you get them, the lines are always clean.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're used a lot in
Learn
illustration.
something new every day.
Yep. And so those get sent to a manufacturer, and then I usually pick the colors and say which colors I want them to be, and then the pins get manufactured and then shipped back to me.
Amazing.
So it's like really fun to turn your art into a thing.
So how long does it take, average to, create a bow start to finish?
So I used to make 3 or 4 a day, and I had an injury in 2014. I'm not going to say it right, but de Quervain's tendinitis. Something like that. It's a tendon injury.
Like overuse.
Overuse.
Yes.
It's a repetitive stress injury.
Right.
And I was in braces for 8 weeks, all the time, every day, even sleeping.
Yeah, because that's when we really kind of do some of the damage, right?
Yeah. And so before that, I was making about 300 bows a year. And after my injury, it was down to about half that, about 150 that year after the recovery from the injury. It took about 2 or 3 months for that kind of recovery to come around.
So AdorkaBows was like your full-time endeavor, and luckily AdorkaStock kind of picked up during your injury.
Yeah.
So they're a nice artistic balance
Yeah.
for you to have a full artistic, truly magical life.
It's really exciting to have both because it lets me kind of jump back and forth, and I never really get bored.
Yes.
And even though I can't sew as much as I'd like to, there's just so much always to do.
Right. Yes. So you hand sew all of these.
Everything's hand sewn. Yep.
So does that, restrict how much you can produce these bows? So tell us a little bit about how you sell these bows, because it seems like your bows are almost already taken.
It's a little like it's exclusive.
Yes, I want to hear about so if I wanted I want to get a bow for my mini horse, I really do. So how would I get a bow for my mini horse?
Okay, so
because it seems really exclusive, and I have to get in the
you got to get in the group.
Adorable Door Club.
Yes. So it's called AdorkaBows Select Bow Peaks.
Okay.
And you can visit bowpeaks.com, and that will connect you to the Discord. Now, Discord, I'm 41 years old.
Yes.
I'm not I'm a Facebook, millennial, and so Discord to me was like, what is this? What is this? Is the children's social media, or
Yes.
but it's chat rooms basically.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't want to do this, and finally I was convinced. So now I have a private Discord server. And
You do?
Yes.
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
You go to bowpeaks.com and it will install the app if you don't have it already. You can do it from the computer or your phone.
Okay, so is this through a Play Store, or?
It'll take you to whatever you have.
Okay.
It'll bring you to Discord, and then it's just, I know people are like, well, I don't want to install an app and I'm like, I know.
So you install Discord.
Discord is where the server is hosted.
Okay.
And that lets you into the private Discord, and that's where I hold my events.
So you would ask to be accepted into the Discord?
Yeah, there's a little rules section.
Yes,
and then
okay.
you just click accept,
Yes.
and then you're in.
Gotcha, because it's there's rules and conduct.
It's like,
and
be
stuff.
nice.
Yes, which is nice.
Mostly
yes,
be
we
nice.
want to be, of course, with the bows. It's got to be magic and sunshine.
And there's a couple of little people will share pictures of their pets, and there's little chats for sharing your art that you're working on, and so it's like a little community.
Yes.
But it's really just mostly active when I have an event.
Okay.
And so a couple of times a year.
So you have the events online on this Discord.
Right.
Okay.
So I stream on Twitch, which is a public streaming platform. It used to be only for games, but now
Yes.
a lot of people use it for different things.
Yes. This is people are live
Yep.
all the time.
All
basically.
the time.
Yes.
And there's a lot of artists that use Twitch.
Yes.
So I'll go live on Twitch, and it's kind of like a QVC. So I'll hold up the bow and I'll say, this bow is this size.
Really?
And this is how much it costs. And, and I'll show it to
I
people.
have to check you out.
And it's fun. And
Yes.
then I go through all the hair bows, and then I do giveaways. There's door prizes. It's a whole big thing.
It is.
And then at the end, I post a link to the shop, and it's like a secret password area. So you have to be in the group to get the password, and then you can go buy the bows. And then we also host auctions.
Tell me about those.
So each bow that...
So if you have like well, they're all special edition, isn't they? That they all look just like absolutely custom, amazing
Every
magicness.
bow is unique.
Yes.
Yep.
So how do you pick which one you auction?
Oh, it's like picking your favorite kid. It's really
hard. Yes.
A lot of times when I'm sharing on social media, I'll say, oh, here's a couple of new bows. And if a bow gets a lot of attention and people are really liking it and sharing it and interacting with it, I'll put a little pin in that and say, oh, they really liked that one,
So you kind of follow
yes.
what people are excited
or
about.
if I like it a lot. Like if I
Yes.
personally like
Love
it a
it.
lot, then it's
You're
gonna
like-
it's gonna be an auction bow because I really would
You're
like it.
like, please don't go.
Yeah. And it's funny because I never make a bow I don't want to wear.
Yes.
So it doesn't, most of my bows sell, but if it doesn't, then I
Yes.
have a nice bow.
So you have a little girl, right?
I do,
I
yeah.
was kind of thinking that the bows are more for her. But
No.
it's actually for your glorious decor,
Yeah.
your fashion, right?
It is. I
'Cause
have
you
bows for specific outfits. So
Yes,
almost
like
every
you're-
single one of these is for a specific outfit.
like today.
Yeah.
You are completely matching, which I love.
Thank you.
So you made the bow specifically for your dress.
Yes, when I saw this dress was going to be available, I started making the
your
bow.
bow. So I bet you do a lot of custom work.
I do,
Yes.
My custom orders are pretty limited because with my experience with drawing, I had kind of burnt out on doing custom orders for people.
Yes.
And I didn't want to do that to this art form. So I very much limit my custom work, and it's done at a very leisurely pace.
Awesome.
So I'm very thankful to my very patient clients. It's like, I will make you the bow of your dreams. It will be perfect. It'll be exactly what you wanted. It's going to take me a little while.
Yes, you can't rush art.
I guess. If
you're rushing art, it's manufacturing, isn't
right.
it?
And I
Yes.
feel honestly so privileged that I'm at the point in this career where not only do people trust me enough to have that trust and wait.
Yes.
And also just to be able to say, like, any given day I wake up, do I want to make art for me today?
Right.
And be able to, so many artists who work so hard and they put so much of who they are into their work for other people, and they don't do it enough for themselves. They burn out, they get injured.
Right.
And it's just like, at this point, I feel so fortunate that I can do so much of what I want to do. It's such a joy.
Now, isn't that kind of like the power of art, is that you are doing it to express your own personal choice?
Right.
And so if you're doing it for what you think other people want you to choose, then isn't it technically not art?
It can get real rough real
Yes,
fast,
it
right?
can, right.
And sometimes, that's why I say I always make it for me first. Obviously, when I'm doing customs, I'm doing it as the client wants.
Right.
And I think that's why they take so much longer.
Yes.
Because there's the communication, there's back and forth, and
Right.
designing and all that
Yes.
stuff. And then it's also just, it sounds so spoiled to be like, oh, I just want to make what I want to make. But isn't that that's like the ultimate experience for an artist, is
Yes.
to be able to just make the art you want. Like, to have a patron that says, yes, create the painting and I will buy it, whatever.
Yes.
That's the dream.
Like commission type of thing.
Yeah, and so...
Which I bet you get some of too, because
Yep.
I can picture people having collections of
people
your
have collections of my bows, yes.
They're like a AdorkaBow collection.
They have them. I have people with displays on
Amazing.
their walls, and and sometimes people
Super fans.
Sometimes people want a specific bow. Like, they'll send me a drawing and say, this is the bow I want, and then I just make that bow for them. And sometimes people book a commission and say, here's the money, make whatever you want in this themed color. And I love those.
Oh, that's exciting, because then you get to do like, you're kind of like designing the bow.
And
with
it
their
all
palette.
is, and every design is, I sort of see it as I make it.
I love this one too. This is so Easter.
Yeah.
Now, this is another artist
Yes.
that you I love their work.
That's Tokyo Shoujo.
Amazing.
And I'm a patron of those, of Tokyo Shoujo. I support them on Patreon,
Yes.
so I subscribe.
And you have a Patreon,
I
too.
do, for the pose references.
Okay.
And so every month I get a pin.
And then you make it into a glorious bow.
Yeah.
I love that. And this is anime?
It is, yeah. That one's, I think, inspired by Sailor Moon, but she's made into like a fairy. So it's not like exactly, it's sort of ish.
Yes.
And I love that aspect of fandom, the way that people play, you know, with different type, like to be able to make something and wear it and have somebody who's in the know recognize it and be like, oh, you know, and it's that community building.
It's a conversation piece.
Exactly.
That's what I really see here, is that these are true works of art that are a conversation piece, and it seems like they unite us adorable dorks together.
Yes.
It does.
It's very fun to go to a convention and see people already wearing my bows. Like, see people there. And
Yes.
I'm like,
And that's your background. That's where you met your husband.
no, I met him in college.
But was it? Weren't you working at a video game?
Oh, so we knew each other. We met in college, freshman year, first week of school.
Oh, you did.
Yep, and then
Okay.
we worked together, and we also worked together later on. Yep.
So there seems to be a thread with the video game and you're calling them cons. So those
Yeah,
are-
conventions.
They're
Yeah,
conventions.
Yeah,
right?
anime conventions, Comic Cons.
Yes. And it all kind of goes to celebrate the art, right?
Yep, art, nerdy art.
So tell me a little bit about these. These are different.
Yeah. So these are as a collaboration with a friend of mine, Amanette GFX. So I found her art, and her drawing style is just so beautiful.
It's
I
kind of
love
like tattoo-like, but like in a pen.
Exactly.
Yes.
She does gorgeous line work. I love all of her floral, beautiful filigree type things. And so I said, you know, she's just such a good artist. I said, I really want her to make pins. And she doesn't. She's like, I don't know how to do that. And I said, oh, let's go in on it together, right? Like I can help you with this.
Neat.
So we just kind of, it's a
So
project.
you empowered her to turn her art into pins.
Yeah.
I love wearable art.
I do
I think
too.
it's just amazing.
And then it's a bonus to me because I can use them on bows.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So that really works hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the power of collaborative art.
It's great.
Yes.
And for these, I'm kind of like the director of them. So she is doing the illustrative work here, and I'm giving her sort of the guidance and doing the
And then you get the reciprocation of getting to put these on your bows, which is amazing.
And I also get to do all the shipping.
You were telling me that Faye Schaefer,
Yes.
who was on the show for her amazing gift basket, she did the art on this.
Yes.
So you also collaborate with Faye.
All the time. I love
It's
collaborating.
amazing.
So everything's recyclable. I make sure that as much as my
that's
materials,
amazing.
you know, everything can get recyclable. So I include these in every package. The bows
Carbon
get wrapped.
footprint type of thing. Yeah.
The bows get wrapped up in this.
So
which is
that's
just a-
also
Yep.
like this is your design.
Yeah. And then I have like little note cards. That's my cat. So
No.
Faye did that work. So I always include like a little note, personalized.
I love this. This is so adorable.
And I, you know, dear so-and-so, thank you for supporting my art. And, you know,
handwrite it.
handwrite that.
Amazing.
I include like a business card. They get a discount code for the shop. And then everything gets tissue papered and safely packaged. I used to ship in mailers, and they get very squished.
Yes. This is so nice. This is
So nice.
like your deluxe bow box.
Yeah, and they've got, you know, a little bit of social
You
media.
are awesome. Yes,
A nice
you are
message
awesome.
for the delivery people.
Please don't break my beautiful
A little bit of
bows.
branding. And then these just get all packaged up. They get taped with recyclable tape. The labels are recyclable. Everything's recyclable.
That's amazing.
I try really hard.
Yes, so you're really putting a lot of intention and care into your work and the, the greater, so you're actually acting locally and globally.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, and I ship all over the world. There
You
are
do.
people who collect my bows in Australia. I've shipped to just everywhere pretty much. I mean, there's so many places. I love at the end of the year when I can pull up my shipping information and there's a little map and everything where something went is highlighted.
Oh, that's exciting.
And it's fun to see, all the
You
states
got your pins.
filled in and then different
Amazing.
countries and yeah, it's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
At this point, I've probably made 2,000 hair bows.
You have.
Probably.
That's amazing.
And where are they? They're somewhere. People have them. It's great.
What are they wearing them? Right?
Hopefully.
I'm sure they are.
I always think, where do they go eventually? Will they become a family heirloom? What?
They look like they
What
absolutely.
are their lives once they leave?
Absolutely. They do have an iconic vintage feel, which I love because it's so hard to find because so many things are mass produced.
Yeah, and I've looked into mass production because of my injury.
Sure.
I was like, can I get these made? Can I get simpler ones made
Yes.
that can be cheaper and quicker?
Right.
And it's so much.
It is so much.
It's so overwhelming.
Yes.
Even with a liaison and someone helping me.
I think for you, it's really part of your artistic journey.
It's true. I don't want to even, people are like, oh, you could hire somebody and have them help you.
Right.
And it's like, what's the point if I'm not making them?
Right.
It's like, it's my art.
Yes, and you were telling me how this is part of your artistic expression because you're not able to see the vision.
Yeah. So aphantasia is
aphantasia.
sort of
That's
recently,
a really neat word.
It's a neat word.
Yes.
Recently, sort of in the last decade or so, people have figured out that some people can't see pictures in their heads.
Amazing.
So the thing that you do, the test, is to close your eyes and picture an apple.
Okay.
So you close your eyes and picture an apple, and then they show you a little list of 1 to 5. And does your apple look like this, which is like a fully rendered, beautiful, photographic apple.
Okay.
And then it's like...
That would be like a photographic memory?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it goes all the way down to just sort of an apple-ish shape. And then the very last one is black. And that one's me. So when I close my eyes and picture an apple, I can conceptually know what an apple is.
Yes.
I could draw you an apple, right? But I don't see it in my mind's eye.
I see.
So I don't see the bows. I don't have an idea of what they'll look like until I start laying out the ribbon. And then I'm laying things out and I'm saying, not that blue, okay, this lace, not that one. And I sort of discover it as I'm working.
Yeah,
it's
so
very fun.
It's a discovery for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part about these is I usually start with the pin as an inspiration, the colors, the color matching. This one is designed to specifically match a skirt that I own. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was to match the pin, which it does so well.
Thank you.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And that's one of the things pin
you
artists
must have quite the ribbon collection.
Oh boy. Some would say it's too much.
Nah, pish posh.
But I also have to have the ribbon visible.
Yes.
So it's all on, none of it's put away. It's all on
Because
shelving.
for you, it would literally be out of sight, out of mind.
It's gone.
Yes.
And honestly, I just bought a 50-yard roll of ribbon that I already own because I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, I must be out. And I was not. So now I have a lot of that ribbon. I think every crafter knows that the buying of supplies is a different expression than the making of the thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like keeping what you need to make the art. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah,
you can't ever have enough ribbon.
I can't ever have enough, honestly. And I'm actually on an enamel pin buying hiatus right now.
Oh, you are? Because
Yes.
you have quite a number to work with.
I have a significant amount of enamel
for you.
pins, so I have put myself on hiatus for that.
Huh. Bits and
Possibly
stages, right?
until May.
Let's see if you make it. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe, right? So I want to just get into these a little bit because I don't think people know about the poses. So
Yeah.
we know how to get your bows,
Yes.
and I'm really excited about that. And aside from the Discord, you can do your website.
Yes,
And
AdorkaBows.com.
You maintain both of those. Those are your website. So you can do www.AdorkaBows.com, and that's actually how I got in contact with you as well to find out if you'd come on and share your amazing artistic creations. And then for just to explain to people what AdorkaStock is, so they'll know.
Yeah, so I take pictures of myself and other models.
Yeah.
Really excited that I've been able to expand enough to start including tons of different models. Models
Amazing.
of different
you
weights, models of different heights, people with different abilities.
It was vast. I couldn't even get through.
I think there's something like 36 different models
Yes.
at this point now.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's
Now, do they come into your studio, or are they supplying you with the photos?
most are coming into the studio.
No way.
Yep,
So
I
you're
have a few.
shooting all of this.
Yeah. I have a few that I've hired to do it remote. I have a model that has those very fancy legs that make her look like a deer. And she lives in Wisconsin or something. So
That's
I
neat.
hired a model, hired a photographer,
Yes.
and did that. They did that shoot out there and then sent me the images. So it's kind of based on whatever the needs are.
Right.
But I do love shooting in the studio because it's
It
very
must
fun.
be so different.
It is. It's different to be on the camera side.
Yes.
Because I'm so used to being on the modeling side.
Right.
And I'm not
And
a
you do
photographer.
both.
I'm not a photographer. I am not a photographer.
Oh.
But I had a friend,
Yes.
my friend Blue, she does dog photography as her primary thing.
Very cool.
Beyond the Fence. Lovely dog photography.
very neat.
But she came and set up my studio for me. So it's
Neat.
all pro, like high level. But don't change the settings. Like don't touch anything because
Yes.
I'll never get it back.
Yeah, there you go.
No. So I take pictures of myself. This suit is new. It's an anatomy suit, so it's designed to kind of break up anatomy into like blocks. And the around lines.
help the artist.
Yep. Show the volume of
So
the
this
form.
is all for the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all geared towards basically illustrators, and people all over the world use my pose references.
I never thought about it, but then once I understood, I was like, this is really necessary.
Yeah.
Especially for the, may I say, genius idea to digitalize it, because I've only seen like on TV where they'll have like someone posing and it's only an art school.
Yep.
You know, so it's
Everybody's got their charcoal.
right. So then what do you do when you're working from home or you're out of art school and you still need the poses? And I could definitely see how it would add so much detail and life.
Yeah, and
to the
this is a
illustration.
small deck, so this is probably, if you were learning, this wouldn't be what you would use, right?
Right.
Like this is something an experienced artist would work from because these are kind of small.
Right.
These are like a to-go, like a little to-go inspiration.
And this works also with your condition, because you were saying that you needed to have a reference.
Yep.
Because you
Can't see it.
wouldn't see it.
And even though I did 4 years of drawing, like life drawing in
Yes.
college.
Oh, you did.
And I got better at muscle memory and sort of knowing the body enough to like work it out on the page.
Yes.
And then when I left college, I no longer had access to those resources, and that was what got me started modeling.
Amazing.
Because I was like, I just need to take a picture of myself with a sword, right?
Right.
Like I just at that time it was like a vacuum cleaner piece because I would just use whatever I had.
Now you have your
My arsenal.
you have your collection
I have
of
multiple
weapons.
swords. Yeah.
That's
great.
amazing.
It's pretty fun.
Sarah, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your, not only your art journey, but also your amazing, unique creations, and also how you support artists throughout the world in so many different ways.
I try.
As a parting question, I wanted to kind of see, what kind of challenges do you see like going forward, being an artist, being online, and staying collaborative?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tough for artists right now.
Yeah.
Art is definitely a luxury for most people.
Right.
And a lot of people are feeling the pinch right now.
Yes.
So I definitely have seen that in my own experience, you know.
you have.
With my clients, a lot of people will leave messages like, "Oh, your last event was amazing. I wish I could have come. It's tough right now." So I'm hearing that a lot from
Yes.
people, feeling it myself.
Right. Yeah,
And
it's tough times for everyone.
yeah. I think for me, I find I would do this if no one paid me because I just love doing it. What would I do with all the bows? I don't know what I would do. But it's like, it's just the challenges right now, besides the physical challenges with my repetitive stress injury, is just like keeping the optimism.
Yes.
And just sort of powering through it. I know a lot of artists, because I sell the pose references as well. So a lot of artists are like, "Oh, I wish I could support you. You do so much for the community. I wish I could give," and I always tell people, I'm okay.
Yes.
Give when you can.
Right.
And, I'll be here. And fortunately enough, people have been able to keep up the support that I'm able to keep doing everything.
Which is amazing, because it's honestly amazing that you have these two websites. You're artistically making, I don't even want to say manufacture, but you almost are, your own bows, plus having a whole family and everything like that is a challenge. And I really do commend you. And I guess the message is to stay focused on making your amazing, unique creations and supporting everybody else along the way.
It's very fun.
It is.
It's like basically the best job ever.
I gotta say, putting this bow on made me so happy.
Do you feel magical?
Yes, I do. I feel, honestly, when I was a little girl, I used to wear bows, and it does make you feel magical.
I am bows for all. I have had this my whole bow making career. If you want to wear a bow,
Yes.
there's nothing stopping you.
There
Even if you
shouldn't be
have no
anything.
hair, you can clip them onto a headband. No one should be left out.
I'm telling you, it's true. Bows for all. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Sure.
And I hope you all the best with the continuation of your artistic journey.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for joining us here on Bring It to the Table. Make sure that you check out AdorkaBows and AdorkaStock. And we're going to have a few more guests coming at you real soon. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to wish you all the health and happiness in the world. Thank you.